Hello, and welcome to our share. My name is Liz, and I'm joined by Jennifer and Dave. Today, we're going to lead you through discovering the basics of transformational leadership theory as we set the stage for our in-class facilitation. This video utilizes a Pecha Kucha format, 20 slides for 20 seconds each. Let's get started. Transformational leadership is a theory of leadership where a leader works with followers to transform them to believe in their abilities and achieve more than might have previously been considered possible. Steeped in emotion, values, and ethics, transformational leadership incorporates charisma and visionary leadership to drive intrinsic motivation. If you want to create outcomes beyond what followers might consider possible, transformational leadership can help you inspire change in followers, increase productivity, and even boost morale. Many leaders have used these tactics to drive some of the biggest change we admire in our world today.
Mohandas Gandhi was a living example of the interests, values, and motives millions of followers aspired to. Ryan White captured people's attention by vulnerably sharing his story. The transformational leader in your own organization likely increases standards of justice and leaves you feeling motivated. Leaders that use transformational practices for selfish motives are considered pseudo-transformational leaders. These leaders act in ways that are not positive for the greater good. Considering leaders like Adolf Hitler reveals that transformational leaders look beyond their own interests to serve the interests of others.
Transformational and charismatic leadership are often described in similar ways, but charismatic leaders tend to help followers feel good about themselves, inspire through their personality, and use emotions to influence others. Research reveals that all approaches to leadership have strengths and weaknesses, but oftentimes the best approach is a combination. Transformational leadership gets followers to transcend their own self-interest, whereas transactional leadership differs in that the leader doesn't individualize the needs of the followers, but exchanges rewards to advance their own agenda. And at the right of the continuum is laissez-faire, or a hands-off approach, empowering followers to lead.
Researchers show transformational leaders connect on an emotional level with followers, becoming role models for values and standards. They motivate followers to work together to achieve more. They empower followers to solve problems with their own creativity, and they listen closely to individual followers and respond with what followers need. Further research has identified effective practices and strategies that center around social emotional behaviors of transformational leaders. The literature highlights the importance of trust building and role modeling to effectively engage followers in a vision that is beyond themselves.
Curious how it works? Transformational leaders set out to empower followers and nurture them in change. They attempt to raise the consciousness in individuals and get them to transcend their own self-interests for the sake of others. In the end, transformational leadership results in people feeling better about themselves and their contributions to the greater common good.
Transformational leadership is widely researched, has intuitive appeal, and the concept of leaders advocating for change for others, which is consistent with society's notion of what leadership means. Followers also gain a prominent position in their relationship with leaders. Transformational leadership is not just about rewards, but focuses on the needs for growth and growth of the followers and leaders alike. It moves people to higher standards of moral responsibility, transcending self-interest for the good of the team, and evidence-based research supports the effectiveness of which we'll share next.
The multi-factor leadership questionnaire measures leadership behaviors to assess transformational leadership. Strong transformational leadership includes high scores in motivation and individualized consideration. The MLQ has positively linked follower satisfaction, motivation, and performance to transformational leadership. Research critique of transformational leadership suggests lack of clarity, citing the factors are hard to distinguish from one another. Without valid measurement of the factors, the MLQ is challenged as an accurate assessment. Another critique cites personality as central rather than behaviors that can be learned and improved. Some researchers question transformational leadership having a causal link to organizational effectiveness, even that transformational leaders are acting on their own behalf, out of touch with followers. When emphasizing values and engaging emotions, risk is present for abuse.
Research on millennial reaction to transformational leadership suggests some resistance due to an increased desire for work-life balance, along with heightened value in extrinsic rewards. This expands to Gen Z, introducing even more variation from our current norm in the way people are motivated and connect to organizations. Here are some tips for mitigating these issues. First, start with strong ethical guidelines, morals, and values. Next, acknowledge and self-assess your leadership behaviors and impacts. Third, focus on followers and their collective goals. Be directive, participative, and democratic. And finally, motivate your followers in a way best suited to their individual needs.
Transformational leadership does not provide a clearly defined set of assumptions about how leaders should act. Rather, it provides a general way of thinking that emphasizes ideas, inspirations, innovation, and individual concerns. It requires that the leader be aware of how their own behavior relates to the needs of their followers and the changing dynamics of their organization. Mindset is everything. Transformational leaders are recognized as change agents who act in ways to make others want to trust them, are good role models who can create and articulate clear visions for an organization, who empower followers to meet higher standards, and who give meaning to organizational life.
As you get started on your transformational leadership journey, embrace the mindset. Think about the 4 I's and how to apply them. Next, leverage the MLQ to assess your skills. Be sure to develop a vision connected with your followers' needs, and leverage training and guides to help fine-tune your leadership behaviors and their impacts on followers. Now that you've learned the basics of transformational leadership, we're ready to prepare for our live session together. Over the next week, think about a leader you have experienced that you would consider transformational. What made them that way? Also, think about the millennial and Gen Z response to transformational leadership. We have an engaging session planned. We look forward to seeing you there.